China's economy is not doing well.
That's just a filthy lie spread by America propagandists. Yeah, what was the thing? Oh yeah, it was Evergrande is continuing to crash and burn, which is really what kind of sparked all of the recent
it's like the real estate stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because real estate being, what was it, a third of China's GDP, a quarter?
Something like that. About 30%.
Yeah. Yeah, once that blew up, largely because of Evergrande saying, give us money, we'll build you an apartment, and then not building them apartments.
Oh, no, I mean, it wasn't just
Taking
Evergrande.
subsidies.
This was like
It was a whole
industry
thing.
standard, right? Where
Yeah. It was just Evergrande was like the first big thing that was like,
So, like,
oh, this
be
is
like,
this whole thing
oh.
is a bubble.
we can't actually pay back our debts. Oops. Yeah.
See, we're all comrades, right?
Yeah. And everyone's like, the CCP will save them. And the CCP is like,
That's right. There was all of those articles like, don't worry about it. Like in like Western media, like don't
Yeah,
worry about
but-
it. The CCP are technocrats. They know how to handle the economy.
yeah, like that essentially that the real estate bubble, like don't worry about the real estate bubble because the CCP will always rescue, it's the too big to fail idea.
Yeah. It was not understanding that the entire China's economy is a bubble.
Right. Well, the real estate thing is actually too big to be too big to fail. Like, it's so big that there's literally not the cash to bail everyone out. And even if they could come up with the cash by essentially printing money to do that, the ramifications of that are possibly worse, probably worse than not doing it. Like,
Who was it that we were talking to? Was it Kyle Bass? We were talking to about like how like the CCP could technically just zero everything out.
right,
Yeah.
they could, but the larger impact of that going forward is like it's really, really bad. And also, the CCP, like any government that controls their own currency, which is like most governments. I mean, not the European countries that are on the euro, but like most countries control their monetary policy. So they can print money if they want to, but most of them don't because they've seen what happens in places like Zimbabwe, Venezuela, where too much money gets printed and then the government has the money to do things for a really short amount of time. And then the whole economy just goes down the tube. And China's economy is in bad enough shape that the CCP doesn't want to risk anything like that. So I think they're very hesitant to print a lot of extra money, given that like it's pretty clear from history what happens when you do that. And then on top of that, they have to continue to unofficially peg the yuan to the US dollar. And so if there's a lot of inflation, then it becomes even harder to peg the yuan to the dollar.
Well, I question if any communist country really learns from history, because otherwise they would know communism does not work.
It'll work this time.
This time. It's never been tried before.
Well, I think Xi Jinping thinks he can do it right. Every leader thinks they can do it right. Probably.
It's a safe bet. I don't think there's anybody in top who's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. This was a mistake.
I don't know. Hu Jintao might have thought that.
Yeah, maybe. It probably was not what he was imagining when Deng Xiaoping said, hey, you're going to be the next guy in charge. For a while, he's probably like, oh, sweet. This is going to be great.
And Jiang was like, nah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, besides the real estate stuff, they're having a very difficult time getting out of like the other big things that are happening in the economy.
Oh, just to put a pin on it, what happened with Evergrande was that they were finally delisted on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange because they have a law that like every 18 months, if you haven't been traded, you're automatically off. And it had been like 18 months since trading on it was frozen. Evergrande. So that was the news. That was a newsy hook.
So that's it. Evergrande is basically over. Maybe not technically, but basically it's over.
Yeah.
and then like it's very hard for China to rebound because there's like already massive unemployment, right? And
Youth unemployment just went up again, or even the revised way that they started.
right,
You
They're going to have to revise it again.
Yeah.
they just
They're revisionists.
yeah, like it's really bad. And it also like we're at a time globally where it's harder for young people to find jobs because companies are just over the last like 2 years or something turning more towards AI solutions rather than more hiring, right? And it may not, the AI revolution may not go in the direction people predict.
Well, I read an interesting headline that the AI is just a bubble that's going to burst. I don't know what the argument is because I just read the interesting headline.
We all know that the headline is true, right? And it's not that there will be like lots of caveats in the actual body of the article.
Here's what I think,
felt assured.
I think that if it is a model, if you can look at what happened with the internet, then this is what happened with the internet. Okay. So in the 90s, the internet was like this new thing and people were like, this is amazing. We can do anything. But people didn't really know what to do with it or really how to use it. And there was a big bubble.
It created great TV.
It did. But like it
Wait,
was
the internet created great TV?
Yeah, like all of there were like X-Files and just like a whole bunch of TV shows in the 90s where they like tried to have like the internet as a plot, but nobody knew what the internet was. And so it was just like this crazy thing. Like, what if the internet took control of your shower and made it too hot and killed you? That was a real episode of something I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, it is just like, oh, wow.
so people saw the internet as like this sentient monster. And then the companies that didn't know what they were doing were able to get lots of capital and raise capital on the stock exchanges and like bubble burst, right?
Yeah, the dot-com bubble.
Right. And then as the internet rebounded from that slowly in the 2000s, 2010s, it was a more stable growth because people had a better idea of what the internet could and couldn't do.
I just thought of when you were talking about the dot-com bubble, like that crazy period of time when people were selling internet domain names for millions of dollars. Like if you squatted on shoes.com or something like that, and then people would be like, oh, we need books.com.
Right.
And then that ended up not being the way it worked at all. Like,
right.
Amazon.com, like people, it doesn't matter who owns books.com, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's quite possible that what we're seeing now is the first part of the AI bubble.
That was just one clip from our hour-long podcast. I invite you to watch the whole thing at our community platform, ChinaUncensored.tv. We rely on your support to keep making this podcast, so join us and you'll get all the full-length podcast, audio downloads, exclusive live streams, and lots more stuff. So go to ChinaUncensored.tv and subscribe. I'll see you there.